All right, have and have not fans. Maybe it's too early to be doing this video, but a lot of you wanted me to chime in on this, so hey, I decided to, fulfill your wishes. The topic of this video is who will die this season, and I'm going to be completely honest. Again, it might be too early to tell in some aspects, but I don't think it's just going to be one person, put it that way, because there are a lot of people who seem like they're either going to get their ass beaten or they're going to be killed off here pretty soon. And we can just rattle down the list now. It really seems like most of these deaths might occur during the whole Mama Rose situation, where she's going to reteach Savannah never to, underestimate them alone, or, just forget how vicious they are. So I really think at the end of the day that there's going to be that huge gang war that I predicted a while ago, and there are going to be a lot of people killed off. And we even saw in the preview that there's going to be a big shootout between the Malones and what looks to be some of the thugs from Warlock's crew. And during that shootout, a lot of people are going to be killed. Now, I'm not saying that the deaths are meaningless, but at the same time, how many of these thugs and Warlock's crew that we see hanging at his house, how many of their names do we really know? Next to none, if I'm not mistaken. But in terms of characters who will be killed off, here are the ones that I really hear the most often. Now, we have Warlock, Erica, possibly Justin, as well as even Landon at this point. Because again, those seem to be the big ones who might be, taking a dirt nap at some point. Now, out of everybody, I would say Warlock would be the most likely to be killed off. Here's why. And I've said this time and time again. There are so many times where intelligent characters, and when I say intelligent, I don't mean they're genius level, but they're smart at what they do. And because, of their own resources, their connections, their way of doing things, they get off the hook from some very, nefarious activities. But given the fact that Warlock's just being a dumbass right now, no offense, John, if you're watching this video, I'm not, insulting you, but let's be honest here. He's making a lot of mistakes that are going to most likely cost him his life. Because remember, Jim was trying to help him out from start one. And again, it really shows the reversal of roles for a lot of these characters. Remember way back when Candace first extorted the $7.4 million from Jim? Warlock was like, so you're going to leave here and go to Atlanta or something? She's like, no, I'm going to stay in town and live up in his face and, just rub it in. So Warlock was like, hey, take this money and get out of here. But remember, at that point, he only thought it was $500K, not $7.4 million, because she lied. So I'm just thinking to myself, it's ridiculous how she's going to be doing things like that and just lose everything. Remember, Quincy tracked her down, then Oscar took the money, and that was crazy. So, I mean, who's to assume that if she didn't even go, well, let's say she went to Atlanta, Georgia, that, David wouldn't have sent Oscar after her anyway, which I'm pretty sure he would have. But, that's a whole new what if. I've actually been thinking about doing what if videos, like, hey, what if this character didn't die or this character didn't do this or that? One big what if people are asking me about is like, what if Jim and Candace never did it in episode 1? What would have happened? I might actually be inclined to do that. Let me know in the thoughts in the comment section below. Should I do a video like that? That would be pretty fun. Now, anyway, back to the point. When it comes down to who dies, remember that Jim is like, Warlock, you need to get out of town. I can help you. He's like, no, man, I ain't going nowhere. And because of that, he's actually going to lose everything. Because again, he's actually burning his bridges, because Jim is trying to give him an olive branch, because I'm pretty sure Jim sees a lot of himself in Warlock in terms of a guy who came on the rough, not from easy street, but he's good at what he does and he knows he could do better. But even Jim was like, you know what, Mama Rose, when I find him, I'll bring him to you. So, you really have to just think about what's going on there with Jim and Warlock. Now, the fact that I feel like he's going to die is, again, it comes down to these characters making stupid mistakes. Because again, it's just kind of cringeworthy to see what this is not me knocking John as an actor in terms of, like, hey, I hate Quita because, people have, hate for these characters because they think they're overacting and whatnot. I'm not really saying that. It's really not my problem with, War being, acted out. I just have a problem with how he's reacting to these situations, because he's not acting like Warlock. Pretty much after the whole, finding out Candace lied to him, he became way more unstable. And I feel like that's showing in his, just his usual demeanor, where he used to be, again, and I bring this up, I make this comparison all the time. Maggie Day, somebody who was calm, cool, collected, but then as soon as David went into jail, she just lost her mind, started doing stupid stuff that it's like, that's not in her character. And so is Warlock, you know, hey, you know what? The thug, I'm a thug, you know, thug streets and whatnot. And I can't let nobody double cross me or I'm going to look weak. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the rules of the street, but at the same time, you're just making dumb decisions just to make them. So it's really out of his character. So that's why I really feel like he's going to be one of the major players to most likely die this season, not just to pay back for, you know, him being responsible. Well, I don't know if it was his bullet, you know, because again, a lot of them were shooting in the motel, but his actions was the cause of, you know, Quincy Jr. being shot. Now, Erica is another story. I don't think she's going to be killed off so soon, given the fact that, you know, the whole David plot, unless David finds out the truth or Candace gets to her first, we really, or even Veronica for that matter. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she does get killed off before she takes David's money, because again, she's underestimating Veronica just as Erica is underestimating, Erica is underestimating Veronica just as Warlock is underestimating the threat of Mama Rose. So those two might die together. I don't, it's going to be crazy, but I can see it happen because Veronica is not to be messed around with. You know, I need to do a video on this as well, but and a side note, I'm just really impressed with, I mean, we're all in love with Angela Robinson. She is great at what she does. I'm just impressed with the fact that Veronica could go from this schizophrenic, paranoid, psycho bitch to like the calm, cool, collected attorney in like a snap. Like in one scene, she'll be going off on somebody like it's nothing, but then in the next scene, she's in attorney mode. Like, you know, I can't even. It's just incredible. So just also thinking about the whole fact that we do have some characters who are making questionable decisions, just as Justin seems to be underestimating Veronica as well, just as Erica is. So given the fact that Jim called for a bloodbath a couple seasons back when Terrell, Toxic, and Cannon were killed off, who's to say Veronica wouldn't do the same thing with maybe Justin, Erica? So I mean, honestly, maybe we need a few more episodes, but maybe at the mid-season finale, there's going to be a shooting like it was with Maggie Day. So that shows me right there that some people are going to be killed off. And again, the fact that a gang war is going down, it wouldn't surprise me if several people will be killed off before, you know, before the season's over. Now, moving on to Landon, in terms of him being killed off, I can only see that happening if Charles or somebody gets wind of his plan to, you know, get rid of Candace. Because remember, and again, it goes back to these, why do these characters either talk about important confidential things they shouldn't in the front of in a crowded area, and then Landon getting on the phone to call the news station or the cops right outside Charles's door? So I don't know, maybe he'll get in a situation where he's going to lose it all, because again, I'm not saying that he's not important to the plot, but I don't think he's important to the plot. I mean, yes, he's the new Maggie Day of sorts for Charles's campaign, but when the campaign's over, it's like, what's Landon going to do? So I really think it's getting kind of tired that, you know, you have all these men coming after Jeffrey. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens. But maybe, again, because I am aware that not too many people have been with the haves and the have-nots since episode 1, and that's understandable. Because again, you know, most people either didn't have OWN, or, you know, they didn't catch one of the haves and the have-nots until season 3. Maybe I should do a video, you know how I did like a Who's Oscar? Maybe I should do a Who's Landon, just kind of like a video kind of recapping who he is, how he came into the series, and you know where he is now. So maybe it'll be a good refresher, almost like a Cliff Notes version, if you will. So I really don't know at this point who is going to be killed off, but I can see some viable candidates, because typically speaking, characters who get killed off are those who are like recurring characters who might have slight minor roles, but then they get elevated to, you know, series regulars where their name appears in the credits. Because of course now you see Erica, if I'm not mistaken, we also see Warlock's names at the beginning of the episode. So it wouldn't surprise me to get killed off, kind of like Maggie Day, and I believe Jennifer too. Well, I don't know if Jennifer's name ever showed up at the beginning of episodes, but she became a character who was a regular. So you really got to pay attention to dialogue, because dialogue tells it all. Like, you know, Veronica threatening Maggie Day, next thing you know, pow, pow, she dead. Then you have, oh wow, I believe it was several times that Catherine threatened Jennifer, like, you know, when Jennifer visited her in her jail cell, when Catherine went by her office, and the dialogue was there. We literally knew who was going to die. So with everything going down with Mama Rose, I don't think her word is to be underestimated. So again, this is just my prediction. I feel like obviously Warlock is probably going to die at the end of this season. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Warlock is going to be the only one? Let's not talk about the gang members, because I think it goes without saying that some of the Malones and some of Warlock's crew will indeed die. So let's just talk about the characters. We know their names too. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who's going to die? Why? Who will be the killer? Who will be the killer? And I'll talk to you next time.